Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Let's hear it for the Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy Jazz Band for their performance today. Is everybody ready for the show? All right, let's get started.
Yes. Two spotlights.
In the Oratory. On that spring afternoon in Dallas, Dr. King's message was clear. The civil rights movement had made enormous strides, particularly with the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. However, Dr. King cautioned the audience against a growing complacency and encouraged the Dallas community to remain steadfast in the fight against injustice and growing poverty.
So, it is necessary to live the minimum wage and extend the coverage so that all of God's children will have the basic necessities of life. We live in a great nation, the greatest nation, the richest nation on the face of the earth. And I spend this afternoon, and any nation that can spend billions of dollars to put a man on the moon, and spend billions of dollars to put a man on the moon, here on earth.
Today, 57 years after Dr. King spoke those words, we gather once again to answer Dr. King's call and to hear from our next generation of leaders. Please welcome to this historic stage our 8 finalists for today's oratory competition. A well-deserved ovation. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the 32nd Annual Martin Luther King Oratory Competition, co-sponsored by the law firm of Foley & Lardner and the Dallas Independent School District. I'm Michael Newman, the managing partner of Foley's Dallas office, and I am thrilled to welcome you to SMU's McFarland Auditorium. When Martin Luther King graced this stage in 1966, he reflected on how far the nation had come in 3 short years since he had delivered his I Have a Dream speech. Much had been accomplished, but he believed that the fight for true and lasting equality had only just begun, and he encouraged our community to join him in that fight. Today, as we come together to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the iconic I Have a Dream speech, we have invited these young scholars to offer their perspectives on the issues that Dr. King championed during his lifetime. We are thrilled to be here with so many students, friends, family members, SMU, DISD, and Foley & Lardner colleagues and clients. And thanks to SMU for their generosity and inviting us to hold our event here in McFarland for the very first time. And thanks to everyone for being here to support these amazing students. "32 years ago, Foley's predecessor law firm, Gardier & Wynn, established this oratory competition as a way to celebrate the life and the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It started small with just a few DISD schools and a handful of students competing in our firm's lunchroom. Fast forward 32 years, and our competition has grown to include 20 DISD schools with hundreds of students competing nationwide. In fact, at this very moment, we have simultaneous competitions taking place in Houston and Chicago. I have had the great privilege of witnessing almost every one of our competitions, and it has been incredibly gratifying to watch this competition grow from its humble beginnings into the signature MLK event in the country. Thank you. As you'll see in just a few minutes, Dr. King's legacy is alive and well in 2024. His dreams and aspirations live within the students who grace our stage today. Dr. King taught us to question the status quo, embrace our differences, and to strive to find our common humanity. Never has that message been more timely or critical for our nation and for the world. This competition gives our DISD students a powerful platform to share their views on where we have been as a nation, where we are today, and how far we still have to go. I urge you to listen carefully to their passionate speeches. These 4th and 5th graders are not complacent. They are critical thinkers, and they are undoubtedly our future leaders. As we speak of leadership, I would be remiss if I did not take a moment to acknowledge the passing of Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson, who represented our community in the House of Representatives for 30 years. She was an extraordinary public servant who is also a longtime friend and supporter of this competition and of DISD. We are proud that one of our finalists today, I think the first speaker, is representing the Eddie Bernice Johnson STEM Academy, which is named in her honor. She served as a judge in several of our competitions over the years and frequently sent personalized notes to our participants. She will be greatly missed, but her memory will forever be a blessing. Today, we are honored to have a distinguished group of judges for our competition. They are all highly accomplished and respected in their fields, and each has proven that they can handle some pretty difficult challenges. However, I suspect that today's role may be their most daunting assignment yet. Allow me to introduce our judges. First up, a returning judge who has been a judge in this competition more times than we can count. Please join me in welcoming back to our stage Senator Royce West. Senator West represents Dallas County's 23rd Senatorial District. During his tenure, Senator West has been named by Texas Monthly as one of the 10 best legislators in Texas, and he has received countless awards for his leadership. Outside of his community and legislative work, Senator West is the managing partner of the law firm of West & Associates. Welcome back, Senator West. Senator, thank you for all you do to support education in the state of Texas and school safety. You are a remarkable advocate. You're also known in the legislature as one of the best speakers and orators and debaters. Do you have any advice for our young scholars as they step up to the mic today? Thank you, Senator. Next, returning for his third consecutive year as a judge in our competition, please welcome to our stage Dallas Chief of Police, Eddie Garcia. Chief Garcia was appointed as our Chief of Police in 2021, becoming the first Latino to serve in the position in the department's 140-year history. Chief Garcia places a tremendous value on public safety, and his focus on community engagement has helped establish a strong level of trust and rapport within our community. Police presence is up, and crime levels are down under his leadership. He is always an eager volunteer for our competition, and we are thrilled to have him back to our stage once again. Welcome, Chief. So, Chief, I've watched you standing at podiums under extraordinarily stressful circumstances, delivering difficult news. Any advice on these kids who may have not been in such a large auditorium, speaking in front of such a large group before?
Yeah, I would just tell a few things. One, knowledge is power. The preparation that I know all of you have taken, you're set here. The other part is every single individual in this room wants you to succeed. Which I'll tell you, as later in life, there may be at times that that's not the case. Today, every young here wants you to succeed. So that should take a lot of the pressure off. Take a deep breath. Enjoy it. And you'll remember this for the rest of your life. But remember, we all want to succeed, which makes this easier. The most important part is that you all prepare. So just relax, and we'll all watch you do it.
Next, please welcome a first-time judge in our competition, radio personality and social media influencer, the great Lady Jade. Lady Jade is one of the most fun-loving personalities in town, as you can tell. She is a podcaster, a sensational host, a motivational speaker, and a philanthropist. She was the top-rated personality on K104's syndicated radio morning show for over 16 years. Lady Jade is also, we can applaud that. Lady Jade is also known for highlighting Black entrepreneurship through her television series and for her philanthropic efforts through her nonprofit, Project 16, which strives to teach underserved youth essential life skills. We are thrilled to welcome Lady Jade to our competition. So, Lady Jade, I have watched you MC events a number of times, and you bring so much energy to the stage. I'm trying to bring that same energy today. What are your tips for our students as they step up to the mic to bring their energy?
Well, first of all, I am so excited to be here today. If I can tell you guys anything, have fun. That's what it's all about. Have you guys prepared? Have you guys memorized your speeches? Have you been working really hard? So you are ready, right? I want you to say, I am ready. I am ready. Say it like you mean it. I am ready. I am ready. Like you're ready.
It is a privilege to welcome another first-time judge to our panel. Please welcome a visionary leader and community advocate, Pastor Richie Butler. Pastor Butler is the senior pastor of the historic St. Luke Community United Methodist Church and is the founder of Project Unity, which has been a leading force in community building through its Together We programming. He holds degrees from right here at SMU, a master's degree in theology. He was a Ford Foundation Fellowship recipient. and he is a member of SMU's Board of Trustees. And folks, that's just scratching the surface on Pastor Butler. His work is leaving an indelible mark on our city. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Pastor Richie Butler. Thank you for being here. Can you tell us a little bit about Project Unity and the Together We program?
Work of Project Unity is really focused on simply bridging divides. We believe what unites us is greater than what divides us, and we leverage things that bring us together. What brings us together? Food brings us together.
For sure.
Sports brings us together. You got to introduce Marcus brings us together. And music brings us together. So we have to really leverage those things to create together, dine together, sing together, evolve. Because we believe together we can overcome the challenges of our society.
Thank you. It's an amazing program. Next, please join me in welcoming back for her second year in a row, and I'm guessing her fourth time in the judging hot seat, Executive Vice President and General Counsel of Vistra Corporation, Stephanie Zapata Moore. Prior to her role at Vistra, Stephanie was General Counsel of Luminant. Most importantly, for most of us here, before that, she worked with me and many of my colleagues as a corporate lawyer at our law firm. Anyone who worked with Stephanie back in those early years knew that she was destined for greatness, and she has not disappointed. Stephanie is the current board chair of Girls, Inc. of Metropolitan Dallas. She is a proud Duke Blue Devil, and I suspect she's run more marathons than anyone else in this room, having just completed her 28th marathon. Woo! Welcome back, Stephanie. So if you will, tell us about your year as board chair at Girls, Inc. and a little bit about what Girls, Inc. does.
Thanks, Michael. So Girls Aid is an organization that strives to make all girls strong, smart, and bold, just like these young people that we're about to hear from. So it's always a privilege to be here to judge this competition. It's always so hard because you're going to hear these applicants who are so amazing in their presentation. But I would just say to you all, we're so looking forward to hearing what you have to say. You all are the future. And best of luck.
Excellent. Thank you. I'm sorry, I was a little distracted because I just saw DeMarcus Ware back there, so forgive me. And with that, last but not least, we are thrilled to welcome back for his fourth year as a judge, one of the NFL's all-time greats, number 94, DeMarcus Ware. All right, DeMarcus, talk about bringing the energy. DeMarcus was a first-round draft pick of the Dallas Cowboys in 2005. Let's go Cowboys! He played 9 seasons with the Cowboys, where he became the team's all-time sack leader with 117 sacks. He finished his career in Denver. Hold on, we got lots to clap about, so just bear with me, okay? He finished his career in Denver, boo, where he led the Broncos to a victory in Super Bowl 50 in 2016. So DeMarcus missed our competition last year because 2023 was a pretty big year for DeMarcus. Where should I start? Well, he was enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And because DeMarcus is always willing to take on a challenge, he elected to sing the national anthem before the kickoff of the Hall of Fame game in front of millions of spectators to honor his late teammate, Demaryius Thomas. If that wasn't enough, a few weeks ago, he was inducted into the Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor. With all that he had going on, we are going to excuse his absence from our competition last year. But we are thrilled to welcome back Pro Football Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion, the great DeMarcus Ware. All right, DeMarcus, you played in Super Bowls, a Super Bowl. You've spoken in front of millions of people. You've sung in front of millions of people. You've danced on Dancing with the Stars. Is there any challenge you are not willing to take on?
There is a challenge that I'm not willing to take on because I found out that when you are uncomfortable, when you are trying to break the ceiling, you have to be uncomfortable to do it. Because usually when we set a goal, you do everything that's comfortable to get there, but you never reach that ceiling. So I take on these challenges because they make me uncomfortable. And I told the kids when I was back there in the back, I said, today, you're going to break the ceiling with your enthusiasm. You're going to break the ceiling with your voice. And you're going to break the ceiling with your presence. The presence that each one of you, men and women, bring to this stage is going to create so much change because, as they say, we're uncomfortable, and they're going to be uncomfortable up here. But all of that goes to the wayside when they talk. And I'm back here, I've been doing this for 4 years, and we're going to see some amazing, and hear some amazing speeches, and I'm really looking forward to that because I know that some ceilings are going to go over there.
All right, let's hear it for breaking some ceilings today. So, if I may say so, that's quite a panel of judges we have assembled today. Thank you for participating. You have a difficult job ahead of you. DISD has been an extraordinary partner and co-sponsor with Foley in this event for over 30 years. So before we introduce our MC, I'm going to invite the superintendent of Dallas Independent School District, Dr. Stephanie Elizalde, to say a few words on behalf of DISD. She can come on up as I keep introducing her. Dr. Elizalde is a third-generation public school educator, following in the footsteps of her grandmother and father. She is a lifelong educator committed to equity and excellence in education for every student. She believes in supporting, rewarding, and retaining excellent teachers, and there are many excellent teachers among us today. Let's hear it for our teachers. And she views the development of great school leaders as the foundation for success. Please welcome Dr. Stephanie Elizalde.
Thank you, Michael. So appreciate that. Is this exciting or what? So, first, on behalf of the Dallas ISD Board of Trustees and the entire district, I want to welcome each of you to the 32nd annual MLK Oratory competition sponsored by Foley and Lardner. I would like to express a sincere thank you to Foley and Lardner, Mr. Newman, for your participation and your partnership with Dallas ISD. For 32 years, you have provided a platform for our scholars to showcase their talent while paying a tribute to the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. Also, thank you to Southern Methodist University for hosting the competition as we not only celebrate, as we've previously heard, the 60th anniversary of Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech, but also March 17, 1966, when Dr. King spoke to the students and faculty of SMU. This is an amazing opportunity to celebrate Dr. King's legacy and spotlight our talented Dallas ISD students. Let's give them a round of applause. Congratulations to our 8 finalists and to the students from the 17 elementary schools who participated in their in-school competitions. Before I go on, I would like to take a moment to ask all of the parents, family, guardians that may be here with us. You are our scholars' first educators, their first teachers. Would you please stand or wave to be acknowledged for your support of our orators, please? Thank you. And to the second set of teachers and educators, to our team members from our campuses, if you are here, please stand and be recognized as Dallas ISD family of educators, regardless of the position you hold. You support our scholars. Please stand, teachers, sponsors, principals. It's a very important opportunity that I have to say thank you to all of our administrators, our teachers, our staff, our team members, our parents, our family, our partners, who tirelessly and diligently dedicate their time and effort to prepare our students for this awesome experience. I also want to acknowledge the students of our Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy.
Hello. My one fan out there, thank you so much. Good morning, I am LaDonna Parker, an Information Technology Manager at Foley & Lardner. I have the special privilege of introducing our Mistress of Ceremonies for today's competition, Fox 4 anchor Clarice Tinsley. Absolutely. When I was a student at Clara Oliver Elementary School, all right, yes, yes, yes. Yes, okay, more Clara Oliver. Thank you. Great school, by the way. When I was a student at Clara Oliver, I was given a few opportunities to meet and introduce Clarice at school events, including our annual spelling bee, which I won. And she served as one of the judges. She was a living legend back then, and her legend has grown ever greater over these past few decades. She has more accolades for her reporting than I could possibly list. Clarice is the longest-serving news anchor in the DFW market, recently celebrating 45 years. Awesome. That's excellence. And a few years ago, she actually beat DeMarcus Ware into the Hall of Fame as she was inducted into the National Association of Black Journalists, an organization that honors journalists who have made outstanding contributions to the industry and to their communities over the span of their careers. Clarice's contribution to our community is unrivaled. Along with judging spelling bees at Clara Oliver, she served as a judge at our inaugural MLK Oratory competition 32 years ago and has returned almost every year since to serve as our MC. She cares deeply about the students and is as committed as anyone to this competition. Please welcome our friend, the multi-talented, Peabody and Emmy Award-winning Hall of Famer and the best spelling bee judge I've ever known, Clarice Tinsley.
Good morning, how are you? Yes, good morning, finalists, how are you? Good. All right, love that. Judges, how are you doing? Great to see you. LaDonna, thank you for that wonderful introduction. We've come a long way since those spelling bees at Clara Oliver, and thank you for sharing those wonderful memories in such a kind introduction. Thank you to my friend Michael Newman and the rest of Foley and Lardner for having me here in person once again. I'm absolutely thrilled to be back. My team at Fox 4 is excited to be the official media sponsor for today's event, and I was thrilled. I was thrilled over the moon when I heard that Foley and the ISD had been invited to hold this year's competition here at SMU and to stand on this stage where Dr. King once stood. Thank you, SMU, for hosting us in this historic auditorium. In a year when I've had to deliver bad news to our viewers, it is so gratifying to be part of this uplifting and inspiring event. And I'm honored to share a stage with our distinguished group of judges. I've been a judge. I know how difficult this is going to be for you. I know each of you up to the task. So how did our 8 courageous finalists get to this stage, this historic stage today? This competition started with 20 DISD participating schools. More than 80 students submitted videos for the in-school competitions, and 25 semifinalists were selected from those video submissions. Our friends at Foley and Lardner judged the semifinal speeches, and these 8 very talented, very well-dressed, and very fearless finalists were selected. And as you'll see in a moment, we've assembled some of the best speakers to ever reach our finals. It's a tremendous accomplishment to have reached this historic stage today. So I'm going to ask all of you to stand up right now and let us celebrate you for being here. And you know what? You got this. Thank you, finalists. As we celebrate this, you may be seated, as we celebrate the 60th anniversary of Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech, we asked our DISD students to respond to the following question. How would Dr. King reflect on the 60 years since his I Have a Dream speech? We look forward to hearing the insights from our young speakers on this very important question. So without further ado, let us begin the 32nd annual MLK Oratory Competition. Our first orator today is Kaylin Thomas, a 5th grade student at Eddie Bernice Johnson Elementary School. Kaylin, we'll have you go to the microphone. And I understand that you want to be a teacher when you grow up. What kind of teacher do you want to be? Yes. Buckets is helping you. That's our IT help right there. Thank you, Buckets. All right. So, Kaylin, what kind of teacher do you want to be?
I want to be a reading teacher.
Whoa, all right. And you know what? Readers are leaders. That is so important. And my mom is a retired teacher, so that is a noble profession. Good for you. The microphone is yours.
If Dr. King were to reflect on the 60 years since his I Have a Dream speech, would he be optimistic, disappointed, or troubled with society and the entitlement that comes with it? Is it a dream deferred? Will Langston Hughes agree? Dr. King dreamed he saw the mountaintop and the Negroes would be free from poverty, discrimination, and injustices. Over the last 60 years, would agree with the Karens in this world? Dr. King would reflect on the civil rights leaders who emerged like Ben Crump, picking up the baton to continue pursuing the dream he spoke about 60 years ago. Police brutality took place in the sweltering heat of the South, but still today in Alabama, brothers and sisters came together for one another, kicking and screaming with a folding chair. Dr. King could reflect and say, "My brothers and sisters, we have work to do." But Yusuf Salam showed the Negro that they have something to vote for. Wait, no, that's not right at all. Wait, no, that's not right.
She's going to start over.
If Dr. King were to reflect on the 60 years since his I Have a Dream speech, would he be optimistic, disappointed, or troubled with society and the entitlement that comes with it? Is it a dream deferred? Will Langston Hughes agree? Dr. King dreamed he saw the mountaintop and the Negroes would be free from poverty, discrimination, and injustices. Over the last 60 years, would George Floyd agree with the Karens in this world? Dr. King would reflect on the civil rights leaders who emerged like Ben Crump, picking up the baton to continue pursuing the dream he spoke about 60 years ago. Police brutality took place in the sweltering heat of the South, but still today in Alabama, brothers and sisters came together for one another, kicking and screaming with a folding chair. Dr. King would reflect.
She thanks you for understanding. She did her best, and she said she was not able to finish. But we thank you. We thank you for trying again, and we thank you for being on this stage. Thank you, sweetheart. Our next speaker is Zayden Vaughn, a fourth grade student representing Frederick Douglass Elementary School. Zayden, we'll have you come to the microphone, and I understand that you like to play sports in your free time. So what are your favorite sports?
Basketball and football.
Basketball and football. Any video games in there?
I mean, I like to play Roblox sometimes.
Okay. All right, the microphone is yours.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zayden Vaughn, a fourth grader at Frederick Douglass Elementary. How would Dr. King reflect on his 60 years since his I Have a Dream speech? Dr. King will remind us that his I Have a Dream speech was one of hope, and for his children, and all children shall not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. He would tell us that violence toward people of color that injustice still lives in the legal system. He would tell us that we can never be satisfied as long as people of color endure police brutality. He would tell us that we can never be satisfied as long as our bodies cannot live in safe neighborhoods. He would tell us that we cannot be satisfied as long as homeless people have to live on the streets. He would tell us that no family shall be evicted from their home because they can't pay their rent or mortgage. He would tell us that we can never be satisfied as long as our children have to walk down alleys or streets filled with alcoholics, drug addicts, and gun violence. I, too, have heard gunshots at my apartments more than twice. I am shocked and surprised that in the still of the night, danger lurks. Nonviolence is a way of life for courageous people, not evil people. He would tell us that we can never be satisfied as long as our children of color are stripped of the chance to have a free public education. We cannot be satisfied as long as our children of color do not understand the importance that one day they must vote for an individual of their choice to represent the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King. He will say today, even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, still dream. He would say that his dream is rooted in the American dream. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men shall be treated equally. Dr. Martin Luther King will say to continue to tell all people about his dream to make the world a better place for all people. Thank you.
Now it's time to welcome our next finalist, Michelle Nkana, a fifth grade student at Solar Preparatory School for Girls, as we hear. What do you want to do when you grow up?
I want to be a veterinarian.
Ooh, all right. What are your favorite animals?
A cheetah.
Ooh, fantastic. The microphone is yours.
Hi, I'm Michelle Nkana from Solar Preparatory School for Girls. My friends, I say to you today that even though we face difficulties from the past, I stand here today to proudly acknowledge the progress that has been made to overcome these issues. First of all, let's discuss Dr. King's speech, I Have a Dream, which reflects on a dream of unity, racial equality, and justice. Here are some inspiring words from his speech. He said, no, we are not satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. He said, I am not unmindful that some of you have come here out of your trials and tribulations. He said, some of you have come from areas where your quest for freedom left you battered by storms of persecution and staggered by the winds of police brutality. We were reminded that you have been the veterans of creative suffering. Continue to work with the faith that unearned suffering is redemptive. So as we have gone back to Mississippi, back to Alabama, back to South Carolina, to Georgia and Louisiana, we have gone back to the slums and ghettos of our modern cities, knowing that somehow this situation can, will, and has been changed. Let us not wallow in the valley of despair. I say to you, my friends, we have difficulties today and tomorrow. Yes, I believe that Dr. King's dream is true. He had a dream, and I too have the same dream. And yes, it is deeply rooted in the American dream. He had a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all people are created equal. Dr. King had a dream that one day, out in the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down at a table of brotherhood. Dr. King had a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. Dr. King had a dream that his 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by their character. All of the world, these inspiring words motivate people to understand and respect others. If he were still alive today, Dr. King would still prioritize unity, racial equality, and justice to continue to change the world. Thank you.
Our fourth competitor is Aiden Bodie, a 4th grade student at T.L. Marsalis Elementary School. We'll get some mic adjustment from Buckets. Thank you so much. What do you want to do when you grow up?
I want to be a police officer.
Whoa. All right, Chief, the two of you need to talk. All right, but first, the microphone is yours.
How would Dr. King reflect on the 60 years since his I Have a Dream speech? Well, let's talk about Dr. King's dream the way he did and in a way that everybody can understand. Let's talk about money. In his speech, he said, "We've come to our nation's capital to cash a check." That check he was talking about is freedom, prosperity, and peace. While many people have a positive amount in the bank for these things, minorities see a negative amount in their bank account. Dr. King said about the Declaration of Independence that black men as well as white men would be guaranteed to unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is also a form of money that many people get paid a lot, but if you look a certain way, your money is no good. Dr. King dreamed of a day that everybody, no matter your skin color, religion, or gender, could go to the bank of freedom, prosperity, and peace, and have more than enough to live their lives the way that they're promised. People every day are told no because of the way they look. They are punished for crimes they did not commit, told they are not good enough for jobs, not accepted into top colleges, and that they cannot live in nice neighborhoods. When Dr. King was alive, he saw many people living with these problems. Here we are, 55 years after his death, and still many Americans are living with the same problems. Dr. King called this a bad check, a check which has come back marked insufficient funds. He did not fight and die for Americans to be socially and morally broke. There's a song that I like that comes from the movie Selma. The song is called Glory by Common and John Legend. One of my favorite parts of the song goes, "Now the war is not over,
Victory isn't won, then we'll fight on to the finish. Then, when it's all done, we'll cry, glory, oh glory. This reminds me that there is still hope. It's time to go back to the bank and make things right. Dr. King said, we refuse to believe that the Bank of Justice is bankrupt. We refuse to believe that there are insufficient funds in the great vault of opportunity of this nation. It's all up to us to say something when someone is treated wrong. Dr. King reminded us that our money was as good as everyone else's when he said, we have a check that will give us upon the demand of riches, freedom, and the security of justice. Today is our payday. If someone says, you're not good enough, say no, it's my payday. If someone says, calls you bad names, say no, it's my payday. If someone says, you can't have this job, say no, it's my payday. If someone says, you have the wrong skin color, say no, it's my payday. If someone says, you can't live here, say no, it's my payday. If someone says, you can't go to this top college, say no, it's my payday. How would Dr. King reflect on the 60 years since his I Have a Dream speech? I think that if he was still alive, he would tell us that it is now time to speak up and claim our money from the bank of freedom, prosperity, and peace. Today is our payday. Thank you.
Our next finalist is Iris Hopkins Swanson, a 5th grade student at Thomas Tolbert Elementary School. And I understand that you are a member of a marching band. What instrument do you play?
I currently play cymbals.
Cymbals?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, strike up the band. The microphone is yours.
Hello, my name is Jairus Hopkins Swanson. I'm a 5th grade tag scholar at the Thomas Tolbert Elementary School. My name, Jairus, means God in lines. As I represent the meaning of my name, I will enlighten you in the next few minutes on what I believe Dr. King's reflection will be of the foundation and the blueprint he left behind. We've all heard the speech, I Have a Dream, and taken meaning from Dr. King's message. But the question I pose today is, what would Dr. King's reflection be of the foundation and the blueprint he left behind? Well, I think that he will be proud of some of the world's changes since the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. He would see the impact and the work from his sacrifice, but he would say, we are still not there. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 was intended to end discrimination based on color, race, religion, or national origin in the United States. It prevented housing discrimination based on race, sex, national origin, and religion. It improved educational opportunities and even granted legal protections of rights and freedoms for African Americans. I believe he will ponder, are we there yet? The Civil Rights Act is empowering, yet we still witness issues and division all around us. Even with the Civil Rights Act in place in 2023, the law does not always stop nor punish those who choose to discriminate against men and women unfairly. I believe Dr. King would still say the Bank of Justice is bankrupt and encourage us to continue to stand up and demand equality. I think Dr. King might say we must do better. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery. The 14th Amendment gave citizenship to all people born in the U.S., and the 15th Amendment gave Black Americans the right to vote. However, today, in 2023, several states are trying to pass bills to limit the power of the minority vote. For example, many states are enforcing strict voter ID laws and cuts to early voting. Dr. King's view on this issue? Definitely not good. Dr. King spoke in his I Have a Dream speech of people not being judged by the color of their skin. He would be pleased knowing a black man became president of these United States, and presently a black female is serving as vice president. Dr. King's speech became a blueprint of hope instead of a cry of despair. His core value was to end discrimination. He wanted peace and for people to not judge each other based on skin color, their hair, their names, or even the neighborhood they lived in. Most recently, the Crown Act was passed. The acronym means to create a respectful and open world for natural hair. The passage of this act is another example of light that keeps Dr. King's dream a trending topic. I feel Dr. King's reflection of the past 60 years since his I Have a Dream speech would be for us to keep wearing our crowns as kings and queens and continue to keep the dream alive. In closing, Dr. King simply wanted equality for all people. Today, if Dr. King was reflecting off of racial equality, poverty, and low wages, I believe he will repeat this quote: "What good is having the right to sit at a lunch counter if you can't afford to buy a hamburger?" What do I feel Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s reflection of the past 60 years since his I Have a Dream speech would be? I envision him saying, "We have unfinished business." Thank you for the personal privilege of speaking to you today. I am Jairus Hopkins Swanson, a 5th grade tag scholar at the Thomas Tobit Elementary School.
Next, let's welcome Ariel Strain, a 4th grade student at Elijah M. Peace Elementary School. Welcome. Thank you, Buckets. And I understand that you have a lot of brothers and sisters. How many siblings do you have?
I have 3 siblings.
And where are you in the birth order?
Youngest,
Youngest, all right. And what do you want to do when you grow up?
I want to have the same job as my mom.
Which is? What does your mom do? What does your mom do? She's an accountant?
Accountant.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing, and the microphone is yours.
Hi, my name is Ariel Strain. I am in 4th grade at Elijah M. Peace Elementary School. If Dr. King were alive today, he would reflect on his own words and make connections to the world we live in today. 60 years ago, Dr. King said, one of the architects of our republic wrote the magnificent words of the Constitution and Declaration of Independence. They were signing a promissory note to which every American was to follow heir. This note is a promise that all men, yes, black men as well as white men, will be guaranteed the human rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Dr. King protested peacefully for human rights, life, and liberty, and all people are not able to pursue positions as high as the Supreme Court and the executive branch of the United States government. 60 years later, 2 of the most powerful positions in the United States are held by black women: Vice President Kamala Harris and Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. These women have been placed in positions to uphold the Constitution and the human rights guaranteed to all people. 60 years later, Dr. King would say, so much progress, so many of my prayers were answered. It's a beautiful thing to see all races being able to unify, work together in political offices, go to school, and eat together. What a mighty long way we've come. Yet, I look around and see that there is still so much progress to be made. Equality is something that we all deserve, yet we're still fighting for today. My brothers and sisters, I see your fight, and I encourage you to keep going. Keep knocking down those barriers, for if God has brought us this far, he will continue to carry us. My dreams have came true, and so can yours.
Next, we have Ivan Shatanda, a fourth grade student at Arturo Salazar Elementary School. So, Ivan, thank you for joining us. Welcome. And I'd like to know, do you have any pets?
Yes.
What kind of pets do you have?
Cats.
Ooh, cats. How many cats?
4, I think.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. What do you want to do when you grow up?
Be engineer.
Wonderful. The microphone is yours. You may start.
Hello, my name is Ivan Stonda, a 4th grader from Arturo Salazar Elementary School. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a civil rights leader and an American minister. Dr. King changed the nation by demanding that black people be treated with dignity and respect. Dr. King told others that everyone should be judged, not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Dr. King's dream still lives today, 60 years later. Dr. King's dream is working in the lives and in the hearts of American citizens today. In the words of Zahir Douglas, you can kill the dreamer, but not the dream. And I see Dr. King's dream working today because everyone has the right to sit in the seat they want, not only on the bus, but in movie theaters and restaurants. I see Dr. King's dream working when students of different races can interact and learn at the same schools. I see Dr. King's dream working when we can enter the same pools and swim together. I see Dr. King's dream working when people have the right to vote to make our communities better. I see Dr. King's dream working when black leaders can become the president of the United States of America. We know the dream is still working, but if Dr. King was alive today, he would be upset to see mass shootings, human trafficking, and drugs. He would be upset to see this because innocent lives are being lost. It would anger him to see innocent people being kidnapped and drugs infiltrating our communities. He would roll over in his grave if he knew some of the same things that were happening 60 years ago are still happening today. But then there's me. I can keep the dream alive. I will live out Dr. King's dream by stopping bullying. I'll remind people at my school and in my community to treat people like you want to be treated. Wasn't that Dr. King's dream? To advocate for those who can't advocate for themselves? To be a big brother to those who need it? To make sure we are all treated like people? My dream connects to Dr. King's dream. I will treat others with respect. I will show my community, my friends, my schoolmates that simple dream can change the world for the better. Today, 60 years later, we are Dr. King's dream, and we can keep his dream alive 60 years to come. Thank you.
Please welcome Kennedy Smith, a 5th grade student at Charles Rice Learning Center. And Kennedy, have you always enjoyed speaking in front of audiences?
Yes, I love speaking in front of audiences.
Awesome. What do you want to do when you grow up?
When I grow up, I want to be an entrepreneur.
Very good. Kennedy, the microphone is yours.
Dr. King's reflections on the 60 years since his I Have a Dream speech would be absolutely appalling. He will probably say, I am not satisfied where we are. Our nation still needs to rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Good morning. I'm Kennedy Smith, and I'm in the 5th grade at Charles Rice Learning Center. Just pondering over a few events I have read about, have been tough to digest as a student. The dream for justice and social change have come a long way since the civil rights movement. However, there's still work to be done. Everything he has fought for has not been accomplished. He hoped that his dream would be a reality and not just a dream. Dr. King will reflect on how he fought so hard for nonviolence. Violence is immortal because it thrives on hatred rather than love. It destroys communities and makes brotherhood impossible. Violence ends up defending itself. In a real sense, nonviolence seeks to cure mortal ends to mortal means. Nonviolence is a powerful and just weapon. He will reflect on the ideas that gun control is totally out of control. People are allowed to carry them in schools, churches, malls, and several other public places. Scary? My thoughts exactly. In the process of gaining our rightful place, we must not be guilty of wrongful deeds. As he reflects upon what is going on now, he will be aware that human progress is neither automatic nor inevitable. It takes a time's effort and passionate concern of dedicated individuals to make America a success. He would see that Black Americans are working towards opportunities that were once available for us many years ago. These opportunities are not being fulfilled. We must take advantage of the open doors and be who we are meant to be. When opportunities knock, we must answer. This will be a true reflection of things today that Dr. King will want. We cannot sit around and think it's not the right thing to do, because it is. My generation must make his dream a reality. I see myself reflected in Dr. King as I grow into an unbreakable, fierce person in society. I know one day, when I come against brick walls, I'll be able to find the doors and walk right through them based on my own abilities. I will use my leadership skills, demonstrated by my family and teachers, when I'm old enough to vote. Our voices are powerful. We must exercise our rights to vote by going to the polls. Dr. King would say that's the right way to get things done, properly and in order. Now, I ask you, how much longer will it take us to resemble the dreams of Dr. King? Look in the mirror and ask yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Kennedy, and all of our finalists for those amazing speeches. Let's give them another great round of applause. And also, our first speaker is backstage, Caden Thomas. Let's give her a round of applause that she can hear. We thank Caden and everyone for their amazing speeches. Terrific competition. You did not disappoint, and at this point, judges, we're going to let you adjourn. You've got a very difficult decision ahead of you. We're going to see you shortly. I also want to invite the finalists to join me off stage. We're going to relax for a few minutes, and we want you to enjoy the rest of the program because you've got very talented people coming up. In the meantime, let me welcome back to the stage Michael Newman.
Let's hear it again for our speakers. Thank you, Clarice. We appreciate you doing this for us year after year. While the judges are deliberating, I want to take a moment to thank the army of folks behind this competition. First and foremost, thank you to all the DISD teachers, counselors, principals, campus administrators, and staff members for their support of this year's competition. Thanks again to our hosts, SMU, particularly Wendell and Donahue and Kim Cobb. We appreciate your hospitality and your efforts in making this such a special occasion. In addition, we couldn't have pulled this off without the support of DISD's Communication Services team, the DSTV team, the Partnership and Volunteer Services team, and everyone behind the scenes assisting with video and technology support, including Brandon Walker and the entire team here at McFarland Auditorium. And thanks again to Clarice Tinsley and to Fox 4 for being our media sponsor again this year. I want to acknowledge the presence of Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins, who's with us here today, and Dr. Edwin Flores, member of the Board of Trustees of DISD. We are all enormously grateful for the work of Tanya Mayberry Davis, DISD's volunteer coordinator. Yay, Tanya. And my friend and Foley colleague, Danielle Romero, for their efforts on behalf of this program. The planning of this and execution of this event is a year-long exercise, and none of this would happen without the exceptional work of Tanya and Danielle. Yeah. Thank you to my MLK steering committee friends from Foley and all the folks from Foley and DISD who came out to help today. It's a lot of people, and we could not be more grateful for the support and teamwork that so many have provided to make today a reality. And finally, thank you to the parents, family members, and friends for encouraging all the participants to take part in this competition. Getting up in front of an audience in an auditorium like this is not easy, but they did it, and they made us all very proud. We know you've heard these speeches 1,000 times over the past few months, and you could probably recite them yourselves. But now you see it was all worth the effort. Now, while the judges continue to deliberate, we have time for a couple of surprises. First, there should be a screen dropping behind me. Let's take a look at a short video that was produced by our friends at SMU to commemorate Dr. King's speech here in McFarland Auditorium in 1966. What an incredible video, and what a moment that was for SMU. You may have noticed a group of young men sitting behind Dr. King in the final frame of that video. Those were members of the SMU Student Senate, which was the organization that invited Dr. King to speak at SMU. One of those students was a young man named Charles Cox. Well, Reverend Cox is here with us today, attending his very first MLK oratory competition. What a privilege it is to have seen Dr. King speak in person, and now he's also had the privilege of seeing our young students speak on the same stage. I'd like to ask Reverend Cox to please stand and be recognized by our audience. He's over here. All right. Next, we are thrilled to welcome one of the finest and most celebrated choirs in the state of Texas. Please welcome the choir from Booker T. Washington School of Performing Arts.
There's a light There's a light in the darkness, though the night is black as my skin. There's a light burning bright, showing me the way. But I know where I've been. There's a cry in the distance. It's a voice that comes from deep within. There's a cry asking why. I pray the answer's up ahead. 'Cause I know where I've been. There's a road we've been traveling, lost so many on the way, but the riches will be plenty, worth the price we had to pay. There's a dream in the future. There's a struggle that we have yet to win. And there's pride in my heart, 'cause I know where I'm going. Yes, I do. And I know where I've been. Yeah. There's a road that we must travel. There is a promise that we must make. Oh, but the riches will be plenty, yeah. Worth the risk and the chances we take.
There's a dream in the future. There's a struggle that we have yet to win. Use that pride in our hearts to lift us up till tomorrow. 'Cause just to sit still would be a sin. I know where I'm going. Lord knows I know where I've been. Oh, will we win? I'll give thanks to my God, 'cause I know where I've
Thank you to the Booker T. Washington Choir for that amazing performance. Next, we have another exciting treat for everyone. In 2018, a young woman named Sky Turner was the runner-up in this event, representing Charles Rice Learning Center. We like to think that she was discovered based on her performance in our competition. Because shortly after gracing our stage, Sky landed the role of a young Tina Turner in the Tina Turner musical on Broadway. Then, she played the young Aretha Franklin in MGM's movie Respect, featuring Jennifer Hudson. Sky continues to travel nationally, sharing her voice and talent. She's a sophomore at Booker T, so she sings with the rest of these folks. And she's looking forward to the opening of the movie Cricket's Requiem, which will be her first starring role in a film. It's set to hit theaters in the fall. Sky's growth, opportunities, and ambition have been fostered by the educators and community partners of DISD, and she is a reminder to all of us that you don't have to wait to pursue your dreams. Please welcome back to our stage, Sky Turner.
My quest to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man scorned and covered with scars still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable, the unreachable, the unreachable, the unreachable. Stars.
Thank you, Sky. It's so great to see you again. Thank you for your support of our competition. And what an incredible voice and talent. So I understand that our judges have completed their deliberations. So let's please bring our judges and competitors back to the stage. Hello. They'll be back in a moment. And those of you that know me know that it took every bit of effort not to grab the mic and do some singing with Sky there. We love to do karaoke. Welcome back, judges. So while we wait for the students, I may do a little karaoke. No? Okay, I won't do it. All right. It is my distinct honor to welcome to the stage for our awards presentation the chairman and CEO of Foley & Lardner, Mr. Daljit Dugal.
Thank you, Michael. We're missing a few important guests right now, so we'll give them a minute to get assembled. Welcome back. Wow, that was simply incredible. Please join me in thanking all of our performers. So as Michael mentioned, I'm Daljit Dugal, the chairman and CEO of Foley & Lardner. I'm based in our Detroit office, and this is the first time I've had the privilege of attending one of our MLK oratory competitions in person. Today has been a wonderful reminder to me that no matter who we are, it is up to each of us to do more each day to understand, respect, and support each other with compassion and humility. Sometimes competition denotes winners and losers, but these kids are all winners. You should all be very proud of yourselves, and you have made us very proud. Let's give them all another round of applause. Joining me on stage for the awards presentation are Michael Newman and a Detroit native, Clarice Tinsley, who will be assisting me in handing out the prizes to our winners. In addition to our gratitude and admiration, each finalist will receive a plaque to commemorate their participation in the finals, and a Foley gift bag with some special gifts, including an Apple iPad, a book about Dr. King, and an SMU swag bag. Our finalists will also receive a check in the amount of $100 for our 5 finalists who placed outside of the top 3, $300 for our 3rd place winner, and our $500 for our 2nd place winner, and our 1st place winner will receive a check in the amount of $1,000. Wait, it gets better. As we were awaiting the results and enjoying those incredible performances, we learned that a very generous Foley client who asked to remain anonymous was so moved by these students' speeches that she's going to match our prize money awards. So all the amounts that I just mentioned have just been doubled. And with that very exciting twist, the time has come to announce the results. When I call your name, please come up to claim your award and pose for a photo. First, I will be announcing our 5 finalists who placed outside of the top 3. I will announce these alphabetically by last name. The first finalist to be recognized is Michelle Encana from Solar Preparatory School for Girls. Our second finalist is Ivan Chatonda from Arturo Salazar Elementary School. Our third finalist is Ariel Strain from Alicia M. Peace Elementary School. Our fourth finalist is Kaylin Thomas from Eddie Bernice Johnson Elementary School. And our fifth finalist to be recognized is Zayden Vaughn from Frederick Douglass Elementary School. Now, it's time to announce our top three. Our third place winner is Kennedy Smith from Charles Rice Learning Center. Congratulations. Our second place award goes to Jairus Hopkins Swanson from Thomas Colbert Elementary School. All right, and that means the winner of our 32nd annual Foley and Lardner MLK Junior Oratory Competition is Aiden Bodie. Congratulations, everyone. What a great competition. Thank you all for joining Foley and Lardner, the Dallas Independent School District, and SMU for the 32nd edition of our event. We invite you all back here to celebrate our 33rd edition next January. And with that, I wish everyone a meaningful Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, and thanks again to everyone who's been a part of making today so special and memorable.